Coming up now on 7:15 this morning, as we do on Thursday mornings, the law. I am the law. No. Major Eddie Thibodeaux joining us to talk a little Crime Stoppers business and law enforcement and general things like that. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you, sir?
I am wonderful.
So want to talk with you about the latest in, I guess, crime activity, but also solving crimes and different things. What do you have that's new for us today?
We'll announce it here first. Yesterday, one of our patrol sergeants, he's a K-9 officer, Sergeant Mike Darbone, we received a call that we had a daytime burglary in the Lawtell area, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, 3:25. Oh. He was patrolling the area, and within a minute he was there.
No kidding.
He drove up to the scene. A window was broken out the front. He saw two suspects running. He quickly apprehended one. And then, of course, we're in a rural area. So the other guy hit the woods and stuff. We kind of surrounded the place. We missed him. But we know who he is. Well, the one we arrested was Torian Lazard, 22 years old, for breaking in a house. And his partner, Elijah Richard from the Opelousas area, we have warrants for him. What we want to talk about is the caller was the mother that called. And she said, my 10-year-old daughter and my 19-year-old son is in the house. They're hiding in a room. Someone's trying to break in. So we're trying to say, during the summer, get with your kids.
Yeah.
Get a plan of emergency. Because, again, we work. Sometimes they have to stay alone.
Sure.
15 years, 10 years old. But get a plan in case something like this happens.
So it was the girl and her brother. Is that right?
Yes, was hiding in the house.
Hiding in the house.
And they heard a window break. And, of course, we get there, and the window is broken out the front. And I could imagine it was very traumatic. They're safe.
Yeah, thank God.
We apprehended one, and we're looking for definitely one and probably another arrest on. We're looking at another guy that was driving a car.
Wow. Okay, so the search will continue for that, and of course we'll continue to keep on that story. Are most of these crimes, or does it just depend what the motive may be? Is it money? Is it I'm looking for this or that, or does it just depend really?
Well, like Chief Gibson was saying, we really believe, and he was right on point, that it's most of it's drug related, which goes further. But again, it's the criminal element that just says. I remember my dad said, there's nothing worse, except, of course, murder, but taking somebody's property. Yeah. Some hard-earned people working, and you just come into my yard, and a simple thing, taking my lawnmower.
Yeah, I mean, even something like, right. But it's something you've worked hard for.
It's a lack of respect for the neighbors, for each other.
It's just a sad thing.
I remember that one time someone broke into my stepdad's truck in our driveway and took the stereo system out.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking the next morning, I've never felt more violated. It wasn't even inside our house.
Right.
It was just the driveway. Going back to places that you should feel safe. Your own house, church, hospitals.
Police were not exempt. They stole my lawnmower before, and about 3 months later, they opened my unit. I guess I left it unlocked and stole some old cell phones I was using for iPods and stuff. Yeah. They don't care.
Well, at least they didn't go try to arrest anybody, in your car.
That's true.
So really, just be on the lookout, and I think that's very true. You make sure your kids have a plan.
Again, broad daylight, 3 in the afternoon. It doesn't matter. Most people say, well, they'll come out at night and stuff. No, we're having a rash of kick-in burglaries. In fact, we spotlighted one yesterday. They took 20 PlayStation games, PlayStation 3 and 4, but they took all of our credit cards, and we have got. The use of it is Lafayette at the Walmart, Lowe's, a car wash. We have got a little bit of video on them, so we're asking everybody, log in on KTC's website, look at it, or of course St. Landry Crime Stoppers. We have the video posted there.
It's always interesting when things happen like that, especially like a stolen credit card. Look, all the companies are now hip to what happens, and a lot of times it's not hard for them to get the charges to go away, but they just cancel the cards. And so you have to wait till they come back in. It's like you kind of have your hands tied. And if you're like me, who tries to pay as few bills personally as I can, and I have so many things set up on auto pay, it just messes you up, just totally ruins it all.
Yeah.
So.
Then you forget, and then they send you like a two month back due. You're like,
exactly.
Oh, I
forgot
you're
that.
like,
Wow.
That's frightening, though, that even so in the day, that is another good conversation point with your kids. Kids like to watch TV and play the games. You need to tell your kids to remember, don't put those headphones on.
That's right.
And if you're going to have the TV on, obviously you are. You can be watching movies on the Netflix, or they're going to be playing their games. Keep that volume at enough of a level so that you can realize something's going on in this house, and I need to get a phone and find a place to hide.
And we tell our young kids when we do camps and stuff that if mother and father tells you do not answer the door or do not answer the phone, do it.
Yeah.
We ask them to report any suspicious people, any vehicles in the neighborhood, because again, we live in a rural area, at least St. Landry. It takes a while for us to get there.
Sure.
We were fortunate enough to have this patrolman, this sergeant rather, right a minute away.
That's amazing. You never know how things are supposed to work out. But, this is a good piece of advice for everybody listening right now. Please, 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 talk with your kids. Think about these scenarios and how things can happen and go down. Think about things that may have happened to you when you were a kid and why you don't want your kid answering the door, why you don't want them answering the phone. Think about installing one of those Ring devices or go to your local provider. And get yourself a device where you can see who is out the door. So even if you tell them, hey, don't answer, you can have video of whoever is walking up to your door.
It is so cheap now. It used to be very expensive now. You can get doorbell cameras that alert you as soon as somebody walks on the porch.
Oh, yeah. Got that.
In fact, sometimes I have to turn my sensor off.
If you're going to come visit me, first of all, everybody knows don't come visit me unless you call me first. And number 2, wave while you're walking up. Make sure you got your makeup on and your hair's all done. But really, those are some things parents really need to think about. And thank God for these kids. And I hope parents are listening to this and will think about it for their own kids. Now, you said that little girl was 10. And how old was her brother? 19. So, mom thinks, hey, everything's going to be okay. But at the same time, you don't know what these people are going to do, whether they're armed or not. They are serious enough that they've broken this window.
Right. And a lot of people can sit back and say, oh, well, he should have did this. You don't know how you're going to act when you're sitting alone in a rural area, and then all of a sudden you hear a window break.
Absolutely.
And you are faced with two maybe armed person or not
you
even armed.
You don't even know.
But, the experts say if you develop a plan, you'll remember it 85% of the time.
That's absolutely right.
If you just walk around happy-go-lucky on your cell phone.
Nothing's ever going to happen to me,
You're going to be a victim.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we're happy that these people were survivors.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. Well, Major, thank you so much. And we want to remind people again, you can go to the Crime Stoppers Facebook page on St. Landry. Oh, you have one more thing for us,
one more thing. Something dear to our heart, of course, to everybody's heart.
I almost forgot. I'm so sorry. Yes, go ahead.
We are looking for a Tier 3 sexual predator.
People, you got to pay attention to this.
And if you go to St. Landry Crime Stoppers, you'll see his pictures. This guy was a sexual predator to a child. He is not reported. We're looking for him. His name is David Joseph. His pictures are all over our Facebook page. We really want to catch this child predator. And I can guarantee you, it says you will earn
some money, huh?
We will. We really want this guy.
Yeah, dudes, y'all call this line because seriously, that you are going to earn some money. Now, what's your line there? 948
tips, 8477, or call any local law enforcement. They'll patch you through to us. Like I said, we really want this child predator off the street.
You said Tier 3. What does that mean? Is that
Tier 3? He has to register as a sex offender his life.
For his whole life. For his whole life.
Anything, of course. I mean, we're not trying to say a sex offender different with an adult or 16-year-old, but when you're doing a minor child, he has to register forever.
Danger to the community.
Life. Yes.
Coming up now on 724. Thank you so much for your time this morning. We appreciate it.
Always thank you for having me.
We look forward to Thursdays.
I will say the one problem is that on Thursdays I don't take part in the all-day breakfast at McDonald's because my McGriddle craving is taken care of by Maj Eddie Thibodeaux.
Okay,
so thank
full disclosure, dude. Thank you so much.
It's the least we can do for honestly putting our crimes and honestly the safety of the Acadiana.
Well, and okay, that's fine, but you turned to send us some brats.
Yes.
The
now,
man
I mean, today
actually,
he called and asked our order today.
He's like, okay, what do y'all want? What do y'all not want? I'm like,
well, you had that last
spoiled.
question of which one you want. I want all.
Yeah. Me too.
Like I said, I always run for the buffet. So,
Me too, baby. Oh,
wow.
yeah, that's the only time I run. Either I'm on fire or in trouble, and or there is a buffet. Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Yeah, exercise not needed for that. Mm-hmm. Major Eddie Thibodeaux, thanks again for your time.
Thank you all. God bless you.
You too. Coming up now on 725.